Welcome to this week's edition of Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Chi-Chen Lo. In this globalized world, the so-called soft power has become more and more important. In other words, a country has to depend not only on the so-called coercion, but also on attraction. To attract other countries, a country has to depend not only on many things, but also on the so-called national images. In today's program, we are very delighted and honored to invite a guest who has been involved in the so-called making of Taiwan's national images. And he's Mr. Manfred Peng. Mr. Peng, welcome to our program.
Hi, thank you very much for having me here, Professor Luo.
Mr. Peng is the Director of International Information Department at the Government Information Office. Mr. Peng, could you tell us what Government Information Office is? Because for some viewers, they may not know about it.
Okay, the Government Information Office, the abbreviation, the GIO, that was established in 1947 in China during the anti-Japanese war. Its original mission was to dispense the anti-Japanese propaganda. And after the Chinese Civil War in 1949, and the GIO has to change its mission and fighting a war of the information against China. And today, the GIO works to promote the positive image of Taiwan in international community. And on the other hand, GIO corrects the misleading and the incorrect information about Taiwan presented by the international media. My department, the Department of the International Information Service, 国际处, has altogether 60 offices around the world. And this office has also the publications and the websites in different languages. And some the public radio station, TV station, and even the news agencies are affiliated with the GIO. In short, GIO is the government's mouth and the ears. And GIO present the up-to-date information about Taiwan to the outside world. And if necessary, we have to react to some incorrect or misleading information about Taiwan. And at the same time, GIO also collects the news pieces and conduct analysis, and then provide our governments, the foreign policies, the decision makers with the reports, news analysis.
That's right. But in the old days, people used the term the so-called international propaganda. But nowadays, the people don't use the term propaganda. What's the difference between the so-called information providing and then propaganda?
Okay. Probably I can begin with the term, the soft power. Because most people are now very familiar with the soft power made popular by Joseph Nye. And the conventional diplomacy is conducted by the career diplomats. And the public diplomacy is conducted by all citizens of the one nation. And career diplomats deal in the so-called hard power, such as political and military issues. And the people who dealt in the soft power, who dealt in the public diplomacy, they sell the soft power, such as culture, art, or tourism. And GIO is in charge of the so-called soft power, or in charge of the building the national image. And we complement the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs in our work. And I have to say that in non-diplomatic nations, and it's more efficient to sell the soft power messages to the government and the people of these countries. But in some diplomatic allies, we have also the so-called media and cultural exchange programs. And we invite also the foreign journalists come to Taiwan to have information about Taiwan. But I have to say, I have to stress, we don't manipulate, we don't manage the news in this way or in dealing with the foreign journalists. We just want to present opportunity to all these foreign journalists and to have the first-hand information about Taiwan during their tour to Taiwan. And we also want to foster the mutual understanding between Taiwan and the outside world. And of course, our targets are the first, the media, including the print and electronic and internet media.
That's right.
And we try to use this media and to influence the people on the other countries and try to let them understand what's the real situation of Taiwan and try to shape their positive attitude toward Taiwan. And we hope all these people and the people of the foreign country are sympathetic to our message and to gain their support and to ask them to take some concrete actions to influence their government. This is our mission.
I think some people may have the first-hand experience of knowing and seeing Taiwan, but I think most people all over the world tend to see and understand Taiwan through the media. So their perception of Taiwan could be quite diverse. So what are the Taiwan's national images or international images now from your studies?
Sure. I think if you want to ask what impression of the international media of Taiwan, we have to analyze in terms of quantity and the quality. And in terms of the quantity, because before I came to this show, I chose the 16 countries, including Taiwan, and whose land size, whose the physical size and national power are similar. And then I searched the Washington Post and Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, and then I look at the report. And over past 3 years, I found out among these 16 countries, Taiwan is actually the number eight in terms of the number of reports, quantity, and of the list of newspapers, the major newspapers in the world, and that means the international media coverage of Taiwan is quite high, higher than the other countries, which probably the people know better than Taiwan, and that means this is of course this is only the small sampling, but it tells something. And another thing is the quality, and before the lifting of the martial law and the Taiwan international media, the coverage of Taiwan, especially the political areas, was quite negative. Some media criticized Taiwan by calling it a police state, and it was quite uncomfortable and complicated for us to make so-called publicity or to make or to construct or convey our national image. But after the martial law was lifted, the media, the coverage of Taiwan improved. And I think that, if we look at the news report on Taiwan, I think that several the focuses are also very positive. For example, and Taiwan is the democratic nation, and Taiwan is the diplomatic isolated by China, and the media is quite sympathetic with Taiwan's situation, and Taiwan's people are very friendly and very kind, and also very peace-loving. And I think it's also quite generally speaking, the future of the international media is quite positive.
Are there differences among different countries' media and general public's views about Taiwan?
I think generally speaking, but if I say, well, of course, understanding of Taiwan in each country is different.
That's right.
And probably I would like to say the people in some of the developed countries have the better understanding of Taiwan, and in other countries, they are different.
How about neighboring countries? Do you think that Japan knows Taiwan better than other countries?
Sure, of course. I have to admit that this fact, that means that this reality, the people in the world just know the development of the neighboring countries. Well, this is the world trend.
When you are trying to establish Taiwan's national image, do you have any specific image in mind and then try to, create that kind of image, or just, present the facts to the people outside, and then let them know and construct their own perception of Taiwan?
Okay, sure. And I think that in recent years, I think the three messages we want to convey to the international community. And first one is Taiwan identity. I take one example. My son studied in Taiwan. They said, well, because my parents came from the mainland, and he said, I'm mainlander. I'm the son of the mainlander family. But when he studied in the United States, and he ate Chinese, and he spoke Chinese, and he said, I'm Chinese. But if he traveled to the mainland, traveled to Chinese mainland, okay, the people there, they will say, well, you are Taiwanese. Okay, that means the identity, national identity of the people here is quite diverse. And this is, I think, that the main focus of the message is the Taiwan identity. Another one is the participation in the international community, especially international organizations such as UN and WHO. And at the beginning of the last year, my office launched the campaign for WHO, the membership. And I asked several of the Taiwanese graduate students. Most of them don't know we are not a member state of the WHO. It surprised me, but that means that more people, or just say the people, in other words, don't know that this reality. This is the part of our efforts to let the people, the outside world know. And the third message we want to convey to the outside world is cross-strait relations. And because the cross-strait relations, this issue is quite complicated for the international media. Some of them cannot grasp the essence of the issue. And this is our job.
So these are three messages that you've been trying to convey to the world. So when we come back, we'll talk about the strategies in successfully conveying those messages or those images to other countries. And don't go away, we'll be right back after this message.